Ta-da! Hello, class. Good afternoon. Welcome back. How was your morning? I don't know about you, but it is snowing oops, sorry. It's snowing pretty hard over here. So isn't that nice makeup? We found some nail polish in the basement. So yes, it's a blizzard here, so we're kind of stuck inside. I already shoveled, sorry. I already shoveled twice. The front of the house and the side of the house, and the grass in the backyard, so that my little Susie girl, my puppy, could have somewhere to go to the bathroom. And then as soon as I finished, the snow covered it up again, and then I did it again, and then the snow covered it up again. So then I was like, that's it, we're putting a mat down for the little doggy because she just sat down and she was shivering. I wish I had it all on camera, but anyways, that's boring stuff. You like my nails? I always like to show them off. Focus, camera focus. I guess it likes to focus on stuff up front, but then it's hard to get it away. Ooh, there we go. So you just gotta carry the focus with you. It's fun learning how to use automated stuff instead of doing everything manually. Because we're going to have computers do it for us anyway. Also, we're going to get to the drawing. I always forget to tell you guys what we're doing till it's like 15 minutes in, but I think this is the earliest that we've gotten so far. Today's lesson plan, as usual, if you're new to class or not, I'm going to tell you anyway. We're going to do our little reading excerpt from Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain, maybe talk about an exercise, then we'll do some figure drawing after learning our anatomy. What am I trying to say? It's like we'll have our reference study, and then we'll put their sketchbook down here, and I didn't do the makeup on camera because it's kind of like I'm still learning, but we're got a little exotic look going. What is it? The lipstick is Kiss. I should show you with my pretty fingers. I know this is a drawing video, so I guess I'll get into the drawing. Anyways, I'll do the lipstick video later. Sorry, everybody, just skip ahead, but this is really more for, draw every day, everybody. Okay, that's what I should really start the video with. Hello, everybody. Did you draw today? If not, get ready, because we're going to draw now. Okay, yep, we're building a drawing community. I know everyone is taking pictures right now, and they're taking their videos, but it's really important that you know that everyone who can read and write and their name should know how and can learn and has the ability to learn how to draw. So that's what this book teaches you. And it enhances, if you don't care about that really, just remember that this is a course in enhancing creativity and artistic confidence. So that's really what we're doing here. But what we're using as practice is the fun stuff, which is people. And you start out with bones. But I can't learn how to draw. If that's something that you're saying to yourself, let's just do a little quick exercise first, and then I'll explain why we did it. So get out your papers and pencils, everybody, because we are going to be drawing this thing right here. And they show you how to do it. If you're left-handed, you start, if you're left-handed, yeah, I guess this is my left hand, you would go around like this, and then if you're the right hand, you'll go around like this. Huh. I don't know, you figure it out yourself, because I like to start at the top and then go to the bottom, but maybe it'll be interesting doing it the way that they say, because we're going to practice this together. This is a drawing channel, so, well, really this is a butterfly channel that we're drawing for funsies. Oh no, I'm giving away the show. I have like 3 more pages left in this sketchbook, so I know those aren't good, whatever. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna use just a flat out marker because it don't matter for me, but you guys maybe use like a pencil, but you don't need to erase. So this exercise is designed specifically to help you understand the shift from the left hemisphere to the right hemisphere, which is, we have updated neurology now, but just for the sake of conversation and language, instead of zooming it up, I'm going to do it from far away. So I'm right-handed, so they want you to go, I'm going to be going like this. But I'm using this as the reference. So what they want you to do is first draw the thing like as is, and then on the other side say like forehead, nose, lips, chin. So like actually do that while you're doing it. So if you can do it with me or do it by yourself after. So for right-handed, it looks like they just go around like that. So I'm going to do my big ola and not talking for the first one. And then now I'm going to the top. And forehead, nose, lips, oops, chin. Ooh, I got so focused on drawing the lips that I lost focus for a second. And do 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 do. Oh, so it is supposed to be a little tricky because that was a little harder than last time. Last time I was just focusing on that, but we got tripped up there. So try it for yourself. It's supposed to be hard because if you really are using your left hemisphere, which you're not supposed to be doing, it's supposed to be difficult. And then you'll encounter this like little kind of wall, and that's where you need to state jump. Um, so yeah, that's a fun little thing to do. Is there anything else that they want you to say? They talk about erasing. It doesn't really matter. Oh, the mental crunch of like the exercise is like, oh man, I didn't do it well. I don't want to draw anymore. Don't worry, just keep going. The purpose of this channel is like draw every day, draw every day, draw every day, draw every day, and let's just start with the anatomy. Oh, that was a fun little exercise, and now I'm gonna read. We can all read together because it's like the law. I'm making it the law. We have to read this together. At least once per class. So they talk about drawing being a global skill like reading, you know, swimming, driving, riding a bike, walking, whatever. Once you learn it, you don't forget it. And that means that once you learn it, you like can learn it reasonably fast and not forget it. So that's what she says. But I'm going to go for like smaller jumps. It's okay. I don't need to go cray. But there's 5 basic skills of drawing, and they're not drawing skills, they're perceptual skills. So, 1, class together. 1, the perception of edges. 2, I can't hear you, the perception of spaces. 3, the perception of relationships. 4, the perception of lights and shadows. And 5, the perception of the whole, or the gestalt. And then this circle over here is like, they build on each other. So our exercise that we did, ooh, it's focusing, it's doing better. This exercise was all about teaching you guys how to see like edges, but also learning that there's like a difference between drawing with the left hemisphere or the right hemisphere. Again, um, until we update the language, which is like perceptual. Maybe we'll do that now. I'll talk about like states of perception because the one is like logical and sequential, and the other one is like visual and spatial. Something's wrong with my pencil. It's not putting lead out anymore. Oop, there we go. Come on, come on, come on. I just refilled it before class. So we're basically done with this book. I don't really need it. I highly recommend you get it for yourself. Once again, drawing on the right side of the brain. Get the newest edition. There's like a million editions because they keep updating it. It's by Betty Edwards, and this is like old teaching, art teaching stuff. Cutting edge, but it's also like they keep updating it. Another thing that's fun is they do upside down drawing. So you would take this drawing and you would flip it upside down, and then you would draw it, but not drawing it as the guy with the hat with the corncob pipe. You would draw it as just visual information. And you would actually draw the drawing upside down, and then you would flip your drawing right side up, and you would probably have a better drawing than if you had drawn it right side up. And if you don't believe me, try it with anything. Do it with like a Pokemon or a Finn or an Ice Wizard. Those are real easy to draw. Do it with like Lumpy Space Princess. It's so easy to draw. Oh my goodness. Next we do the anatomy. And who remembers what we did last time? It's the name of the video. That's right. The cervical bones of the vertebra. The cervical vertebra of the what am I trying to say? Maybe I'll have a bookmark next time. We haven't gotten to this yet, but those are the muscles in the face. This is what we got up to. So we learned the cervical vertebra of the neck. And now, you know what? Instead of continuing down the spine, it actually goes right into the muscles. So these are the muscly face. These are the muscles in the face, on the skull and the eyeballs. Um, we did draw the bones, but we didn't go into crazy specifics. So, I mean, we'll just get into it now. Yeah, because we know that this is the mandible, and we know that this is the zygomatic arch. And there were a couple of other things in the book, but I guess, yeah, the bones of the skull. I didn't do this, and this is like my favorite thing. The glabella. I skipped right into the zygomatic process. But I guess the frontal bone is the forehead. We've got the mandible. We did the teeth. This divides up the actual skull. So if you guys want, we can go into more of it later. But I drew the skull already, so like, you get the gist. Parietal bone, frontal bone, occipital bone, sphenoid bone. That's all we left out. Nope, there's maxilla, vomer bone. We knew the mandible. Inferior nasal concha, zygomatic bone, lacrimal bone, nasal bone. Are you guys having fun? This is anatomy. Anyways, we're skipping right ahead. So I'm going to draw it semi-big, or maybe I'll do a small one first over here. Yeah, that's what I'll do. First a little one, and then I'll do a bigger one after that. So here's my little gesture skull. And I think I'm ready to black, darken it in. You can say blacken it in. I'm going to draw a bigger one, but this is kind of like my little practice guy, everybody. Seeing sort of like a do. And then whatever mistakes you make on the little one, hopefully you won't make those mistakes on the bigger one. But we want to be kind of quick. We don't want to take forever. Do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ha 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 ha. My Neanderthal skull. Now I'm gonna draw a bigger one. Oh, and here's the little thing that we're gonna be drawing. I think I hummed this in another video, but it didn't register what I was doing. So, under the sea, darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it from me. Up on the land, they slave away. In the undertow, they play. I don't know. Does this look like a skull yet? Do 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 do. I messed up the spacing, so I gotta move it around a little bit. It's funny because y'all watching me draw. I keep pointing at the computer screen. You guys are watching me draw. I'm watching myself draw in real time, but you guys watch me draw on camera, so I got to think about that as well. There's like this little arch bone, which we just learned is the glabella. You know what? I think after I do the jaw muscle, I might have to start the video next time with just reviewing the bones in the skull. Because I introduced them today, but we never really did more than the zygomatic arch, and clearly we would be doing better by now if I hadn't skipped those muscles. So that's just a little learning thingy. We know the zygomatic arch and we know the mandible. But we don't know. I mean, we kind of. But you don't know it for sure until you draw it. Then you know it for sure. Drawing the anatomy is my opportunity to show you guys that, like, yes, I can draw out of a book with a picture. It's not that hard. I do that before I draw my self-portrait. Because that way I've at least already established that I can draw something, if not a perfect portrait of myself yet. I made the eye like way too big, as you guys can see. It's supposed to be like this big. So I know I usually say I don't like to do this, but I caught it before it was like really bothering me. So, oh well. That means I can bring up the nose thing a little further. I keep breaking the lead And it's a tragedy. Then there's a little lip here. Boop boo doo 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 doo. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have to go over this in pen. Just to clean up my lines because I have like such bad lines in this drawing. It's important to have clean lines, class. Otherwise, it'll look like poop. And we know that I don't want to give him giant buck teeth, but I do want to put in some big sized teeth because this bony guy's got some big old bony teeth. It's not the best, but it is a skull. It is something. You know that it's a skull. Alright, let's just do it. So I see the teeth are kind of covered here, so I'm gonna actually count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I do see 8. And the one in the front is kind of like covered a little bit. So 1, 2, 3, and then like 3 diamond-shaped ones. And then the 2 in the front are kind of covered. And I'm gonna just kind of mirror that on the bottom. Do 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 do. Oh, uh-oh. Do 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 do. He's like, make my jaw bigger, Jason. Make it bigger, make it bigger, make it bigger, 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 bigger. The squiggles are gonna be the last thing I put in. I always lose my pen. Where do I put the pen? The pencil drawing is good enough for me. Ba 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 do do do. Being careful. I'm looking at both my drawing and the book, but it's really important to remember that I'm really just going over my drawing, and not like adding a whole new flair to it. I don't really want to. I just want to get a cleaned line. I want to emphasize all the darkest spots because a little goes a long way. Very strong jaw, Mr. Skeleton Man. Do you know the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man, the Muffin Man? Do you know? Sorry, I should try to be on camera at least a little bit for this, right? Who wants to see my face, or do you want to just see the drawing part? Do you not want to see my face? Do you not want to hear me talk? Should I play some music? I don't really care. This is more for me than it is for you. Well, she's married to the Muffin Man. So usually by this point in the drawing, I'll start making like really ugly lines, but I feel like I may have learned my lesson. You do have to kind of have clean hatches. Clean hatches are important to everybody. Sorry if I cover my drawing, but you see what I'm doing, right? You go in one direction, and then you go in the other direction, and you try to go along with the drawing a little bit. But, I mean, I'm not totally unhappy with the way this one came out. Ooh, I just kind of scribbled down there, but it was like, oh, I need this to be darker. So maybe it's okay if I scribble for just a second. There's an artist who will like draw these big giant drawings in pen, and they look like super photorealistic. And I think it would be so cool. I'm gonna draw in a little squiggle now. Little squiggle, little squiggle, little squiggle, 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 squiggle. Oh, squiggle, squiggle. This is like my favorite part. Squiggle, 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 squiggle. Squiggle, squiggle, squiggle. Everybody, squiggle, 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 squiggle. Does that look like a bony head? If you ripped off all the skin on your face, is that what you would get? Alright, Jason, we're having fun, but don't give up the integrity of your drawing. A boop boop boo boop boop boo boop boop boo boop boo. And I'm only going over what I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm only going over what I did before, so it's like, oh, don't worry, you know what you're doing. It's kind of harder the first time because it's like, where's that go? Where's that go? Where's that go? Oh, okay. Do 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 do, and that's how you draw the teeth. Let's put a little shadow around them because it's like super obvious that that's what that needs, and I've like never really focused that closely on it, but here we are. These lines are kind of red in the drawing. I almost knocked over my tea, and I almost knocked over my chrysalises, which are right next to me. And they're gonna pop any day now. Any day now. There's like a top muscle above a bottom muscle, and they're all made of like all of these really thin fibers. And they're mostly red, but they're dark around the corners. So I'm kind of putting them in, I don't know why, but first. A boop boop boo boop boo boop boo boop boop boo boop boop boo boop boop boo boop boo. La 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 la. I was like really quick to put in those lines, and I feel like if I had just taken an extra like 30 seconds, I could have drawn them in like really nicely. But it's like, it looks fine on camera, but to me, I could have done better. And now we're gonna outline it like hardcore. So, what's the name of the muscle today, everybody? Masseter. Masseter. So now, maybe I should have put that in marker. Masseter marker, Masseter math, Masseter, Masseter, Masseter. I'm trying to come up with a mnemonic. Masseter, Masseter. Oh, Masseter, Masseter, master, master. Master, master. Is there like a really creepy, like, character who follows around like a scientist or something? He's like, oh, master, master. Um, so this drawing compared to my, oh my God, look how, My little small drawing, look how bad that is compared to the bigger drawing. Um, I was like, that looks kind of weird. Is it like that in the thing? And it's actually like that in the thing. So, oh, boo, boo, boo. I gotta get it. I gotta, sorry, trying to talk. Get better at drawing without putting my hand on the paper. And like, see, I'm using my actual shoulder muscle to draw this line right now. So I'm gonna have to start doing exercises for better mobility and better, all that sheesh. Yep, because it's really important that you guys see a really defined, clean line. Boop, boo, boo, boo. It shows more drawings of the motion and stuff, but like, come on, Masseter. I can't come up with a mnemonic, but we have to come up with a mnemonic by the end of the class. So we'll keep drawing. I'm going to do a couple gesture drawings right underneath, and then should I just do them straight up in pen? It doesn't really matter. And then I'll use pencil for when I draw my portraits. How are you guys doing, class? If you've got a really good mnemonic for the masseter, please let me know. The masseter, which is a powerful muscle that lies obliquely on the side of the jaw. It says it helps us chew. Did I say that? It's connecting the zygomatic arch to the mandible. Ooh, okay, so that's interesting. The masseter is the first muscle, and it connects the zygomatic arch to the mandible, and we understand the language because we drew those already. Isn't anatomy fun? So, you guys write that in if you have to. I just told you. Um, yeah, it shows the motion of it opening and closing. So, yeah, you draw that yourself of it elevating and closing the mandible, which is the jaw. So yes, I'm going to draw my beautiful, beautiful face now. Very, very fast, very quickly. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boop, 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 boo. Beautiful. Let's do another one. And in fact, let's do this with pencil. Maybe we'll get a little better quality in the shading. What are you using, class? I'm using a Kurotoga. It's like a self-adjusting tip pencil, so it'll always stay sharp. That's why I like it. So I start out with like a circle, and then I kind of bring it down because I know that that's where the mandible is. I can see the mandible. And it goes all the way far back there. I put way too big of a shoulder. And my neck. My old teacher would say, draw the spine first. Draw like the skull, then the spine. And then that's your starting point. I think that is a good thing to do. It's like I want to draw the hair in, but I haven't even drawn in. You need to get the texture of like the skull. There's a whole shadow under here. It's weird. Shadow is like the last thing to worry about, but it's also the first and only thing that you worry about. Just worry about where everything is, but it's all made a shadow, so you gotta have your eye for it. I think if I had drawn the glabella, I would have an easier time drawing the face because the glabella is the left forehead, and it's like right in the middle of everything. Um, that's wrong. That's off. But what did we learn from the other um, gesture? Our little one came out really bad, but our big one came out really polished. And I didn't even put in a background. I should do like a little background. That makes it look like an Indian headdress, which is like one of my favorite things to draw. I love drawing really colorful feathers around bones. They must have known something. There, that makes it look even better. So don't forget to put in something as a background, everybody. Even if it's just a bunch of lines. I've got my hairs totally pulled back. Boop, 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 boo. I'm like, I need to focus today, everybody. I gotta pull my hair back. So another thing I'm always talking about, how it doesn't really matter what your drawings look like. Like, yes, I work really hard to make your anatomy drawings look really good. But when you're drawing your self-portraits, um, at least for every single one you do, you can't worry about like, oh, this looks like me, this doesn't look like me, this came out really good today, this didn't come out really good today. You'll just drive yourself crazy. Just just go up there and look at yourself and draw what you see. And it's just like Pokemon. Oh my, I can't believe I'm saying this more and more. But you're doing it to gain the experience. We're training our perception. So I don't even think there are a couple artistic Pokemon, but do 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 do. This whole thing is dark. So if you're wondering why I did like a really dark primer with my makeup, and the reason is because that's all I have. I found a couple boxes of makeup in the basement, and the like only kind of foundation is for like really dark skin tones, but that's not going to stop me from using it. I like seeing myself smile when I'm drawing because first you realize that the object that you're drawing is like actually alive, which is fun, but it changes your drawing and it makes me like want to add it into my drawing. A boop boop boo 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 boo. It's so weird because my lips are supposed to go past my eye, but this eye is like never in the right spot. Like it's really supposed to be like there. Oh man, it's just getting worse and worse. There's something in my eye. Don't you just love when there's something in your eye? Ba 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 ba. I think I'm done with my gesture drawing, everybody. Ooh, there's an imprint of the skull in the next paper. I don't like that. I have to take a video of my caterpillar eating because he's going to turn into a pupa in like a minute. Drink green tea, everybody. It's good for your health. So we're at 40 minutes almost. Goodness gracious. We did a really good drawing of the Masseter. Masseter, Masseter, Matador. Maybe it's like the Matador. And instead of a bull, it's he's like a matador. Um, that was weird. I started drawing the actual bones from memory. It's like, don't do that, Jason. You're supposed to be drawing what you see. So the matador is like, oh no, the bull's coming at me. Well, I'm gonna pull this, uh, you know, the like flag thingy, the blanket. It'll pull it away, and maybe that's like what your muscle does to open your jaw and close it. And the bull will run into your mouth and then hit your um the gangly googly thing in the back of your throat. For a mnemonic to work, it's got to be really silly. So the matador is like, Olay! And then the bull's charging, and it's like a little tiny bull, and it charges you, and then it's gonna break your teeth, but the matador at the last second pulls the Masseter, and then opens your mouth, and then the bull misses your teeth and goes into the back of your mouth and hits the little gangly googly thing, which makes us choke. And that's the Metasaur. I was also thinking of doing like a Masaur, but like a master Masaur. So I would call it the Metasaur. Maybe I like that one better. I need a master masseuse right now for my jaw. And then they'll be like, okay, time to massage the Metasaur. Maybe I got to do both. Um, this is where I usually get mad and stop because I start drawing in like the details before I'm supposed to. It's not ready, everybody. A boop boop boo boo boo. I'm just feeling it out. Feeling it out. Feeling it out. It's okay if you don't draw it all perfectly, everybody. But give it a good old fashioned try. And I goes like this, but it's also like do 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 do. Very beautiful eye. Very, very beautiful. Crazy eye. Oh my god, what's going on there? Crazy eye. Oh my goodness. Oh goodness. I don't know if it's the makeup that's in my eye or if I've got like eyelashes in there. Last night I was trying to go to bed, or maybe it was 2 nights ago, and I'm just like ready to go lay down. I'm all like perfectly perfect. Everything's taken care of. And then just like an eyelash must have fallen in my eye, and I freaked out. I had to get up and run to the bathroom, and I had to get that out ASAP. So I hadn't put it out far enough, and I think it was throwing me off. I always draw like the front of the face, and then I pretty much never get the depth right on the other side. 'Cause like this whole thing should be like at least this dark. Maybe that's what I'll focus on today, is like really getting the dimensions of the face. We skipped that too. We're gonna have to go back and like really focus on the anatomy because I think this would be going faster if we don't skip any steps. Not to say that we did skip steps because we went straight from the zygomatic arch to the mandible, um, but those are after learning the different, like the frontal lobe and the occipital lobe of the skull or bone. It'll probably be really easy to learn the brain though, because we're gonna have to start. Once we run out of bones to draw, we're gonna, there's still more anatomy. We're not done there. We're gonna have to learn all of the muscles and all of the tendons. Uh-huh. And all of the organs. Uh-huh. So this whole thing should really be in shadow. I kind of struggle with that because it's white. Whoa, okay. This shadow is supposed to be like here. Yeah, that shadow is supposed to come way down. Okay, I'm moving around. Stop it, Jason. Stop it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Trying to get the eye, like, really get. Like, oh man, that's so off. That's so off. I tried, Yos. Supposed to be like here. Maybe I can fix that later, but that's like where I always mess up, Yos. And I think it's because I'm bouncing between trying to keep this area of the drawing looking good, but then I'm like, I think I'm just not looking at my eye when I'm drawing that spot because I mess up in that spot every time. So I guess I'll just have to practice that more. Oh yeah, I just want to like erase it. I mess up that spot like every time. That's always where I'm afraid to draw. So the best thing to do is to probably just like hyper focus on that spot and draw it a whole bunch of times. I think the reason why I'm struggling with it is because, the face isn't flat. It's not two-dimensional, so I really want it to be looking three-dimensional. But I don't quite know how to do that yet, other than to just keep practicing. I think it would be fun once I get the hang of like really drawing myself to start doing like, okay, and today I'm going to be doing myself in anime style, and okay, today I'm going to be doing in the Simpsons style, and oh, today we're doing Adventure Time, Jason, and then after that we'll do Steven Universe, Jason, and you know, maybe we'll start entering ourselves in all of the popular media like Futurama. Um, we can have Rick and Morty, Jason. It'll be like literally hopping through realities, but with my drawing. So, if this kind of like, what is going on with my hair though? What if I were to flip it upside down? That's my chin. The hair should be going, huh, I had it pretty much right. Still looks weird though. Okay, maybe because it's supposed to come like there. Boop 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 boo do 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 boop 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 boo. It's like I'm trying to always draw the stuff in the back of the head in reference to like I'll start off really good here, and then the further back I get, the more I'm just like, well, I don't know where that is. I haven't really practiced that yet, and so it always comes out like really poopy. Poopy 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 poopy. It's weird how you can be drawing for like a really long time and then out of nowhere be like, see, like, this is all moving in this direction. I can see it so clearly now. It's like this is all moving in this direction, but this is moving up there, which is like clearly not right. So I think I need to keep moving it over, but not. It's like I think I just have to start here instead of here. I think that's. I'm starting down here and moving that way, but I should really start right here. Oh man, my eyes are so itchy. I gotta start here and then work my way that way. So, it should be easier because literally after, okay, I think we just gotta keep going, guys, because this is what we did today, the Metisor, which we learned is like a master matador, masseuse. Those go against the bones of the skull. We're gonna learn this. We're gonna practice that. That's really like would be the most helpful is practicing all of these eyes. Um, this teaches you the muscles in the eye, and I guess that's kind of what I'm struggling with is like if I were drawing like actually around the muscle, see, I can clearly see that the eye is supposed to be like, if those are the muscles in the eye, and then you can draw the eyelid muscle over the eye ball, it would be so much easier because you know where the muscles and the lips, oh, okay, but you keep drawing it on top of the skull. And I'm kind of struggling to find the in between of like knowing where the bones are and then knowing where the muscles are, but then also focusing on just the visual information and not getting caught up in like all of that hocus pocus because that's left brain and we want to be right brain. We want to just look at her. I can see my eyes so clearly right now. I wish I could just combine all of the best parts of my drawings and put them together to have an awesome drawing right now. I am not ready to do that. I'm getting there. Like, oops, I almost knocked over my tea and my bugs again. For almost all my drawings, if I were to cover it up like this, it would like generally be considered a good drawing. But then it's, you know, they're just unfinished parts. So you gotta learn how to finish those unfinished parts. That's what we're doing. My hair is always just like, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. Scribble, scribble, scribble. As you can tell, I'm like basically done with this drawing. Do, 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 do. My neck comes down here. Sometimes if you just do in the finishing touches, it'll come out really good. But I'm kind of feeling like I should just leave this alone. Because I don't really care. I'm focusing on the fact that I'm doing the anatomy, focusing on the fact that I am drawing every single day. So if we just continue what we're doing, we will eventually get exactly what we want, which is a really good self-portrait that was effortless. Obviously, that's my goal. I don't want to sit down for an hour and have to draw. I don't want it to be like, oh, that's the only way I can have a good portrait. Like, if you want to have a 1 hour drawing, then I feel like the sketch that you do in the first 5 minutes should look basically like the whole drawing should look, and then you just work on adding more pigment where you need to add it as oh man, how am I trying to say this? Like, you draw it all in lightly. You'd sketch like the whole face lightly, and then you'd start working in the darker spots. You wouldn't do really good finished eyes and then do a really good finished nose and then do a really good finished mustache, because none of it would fit together in my opinion. It's just like it doesn't work that way. So yeah, if you can do a really good sketch that takes 5 minutes, then that gives you the freedom and the ability to be like, oh well, let's turn it into an oil painting. And then it's like I basically I almost have to use my pen for some of the line work, because the pencil just isn't dark enough. She's married to the Muffin Man. I mean, it's not terrible. It's like what I usually say at this point of the drawing. It's a drawing. It looks like a person. It's definitely like me, because who else has this like giant forehead, these giant eyebrows? Like, there is no straight line dividing up my hairline, but for some reason I just drew it in. So maybe that's not how you're supposed to do it, but we are learning anyway. Do 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 do. Like, maybe you can save it. It's not the worst. I've seen worse. A boop 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 boo doo 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 doo. I always make myself look super tired by drawing in these like really insane lines for like no freaking reason. It's like I really want to put in um the value, but it's like, how do I do that? How do we do that? A boop boop boo doo 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 doo. And there's a chair here, and that's a chair. Oh, I was supposed to disrobe. I disrobed. Now I'm officially a model. Ugh, you always forget to do stuff when you're doing on the video. It's basically live because I'm not really editing this stuff. I'm literally doing the drawings and then like uploading it straight to YouTube. So this is basically live, uncut. So I can see my beard is like here-ish. It's all just scritchy, scratchy mess. Sorry for adjusting myself, everybody. Interesting, interesting. I can see how the headset goes over my head. Whoa! I think we just had a little bit of a breakthrough. Everybody, well, we definitely did. Yeah, I always mess up because I'm like, where is that go? Where does that go? And then I always make it like an inch too far in the drawing, and it's really supposed to be like way closer in. I can probably even show you. On an older drawing, we're basically at the critique point. You can literally see it in this one. Like, if I had brought everything in like that much, it would have looked more normal. Like, this whole ear is supposed to be like there. Ew, that's like not good draw. Look how ugly. I just scribbled. I like my quality of line work is like so ugly. Not to say that I did so much better. I think the practice from doing the anatomy, not only like learning the shape of the bones, but just the practice of like shading and my hatch work is like so putting the detail of the teeth and the shadows in between the teeth is like helping me learn the shadow underneath my eyebrow or underneath my nose. As weird as that is, but you're always just drawing a shape after shape after shape. So if you can draw your shapes, you're like at a huge advantage. Bum, 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 bum. I really want to draw on my lips, but I'm like, how do I can't quite draw in my lips yet because it's more of a value change in color. Like it's the only thing that's really like super red on my face. But that doesn't mean I can just draw it in with a pen because the mustache needs to be darker. So I just drew it in with a pen when the mustache was only in pencil, which means I clearly obviously have to add to the pen drawing. I'm not even looking up, I should look up. Sometimes you just like know where stuff is supposed to go and you gotta put it down like really fast. So there's this whole dark spot in my hair. I'm not gonna work in the hole. Ooh, this is like dry. Yuck. Yeah, this is a really poopy marker, everybody. It's dry. It's still doing the job though. I just really don't like how I did the eyes. Like literally supposed to be this whole thing is off. So I really have to practice placing. I mean, drawing the skull isn't good enough. You need to learn all the parts of the skull. That's basically what I learned. And I don't want to wait until I'm already doing it with the muscles because then it's too late. I was struggling. Like, I should have had no trouble drawing in the Metasaur, which is right here, but I was struggling on placing the bones of the skull. And I'll tell you exactly what I mean. So, going backwards in the book, what were we up to? This is where we're like, oh, look at all that, kind of overwhelming. It's okay, we're just going to break it down to this one thing. But that wasn't even good enough because if I were to go back in the book, it's like we didn't skip that. We'll worry about that later. We drew this, we drew those. We skipped that, but a study of the teeth and expression would come in handy when I'm drawing my teeth. So I skipped that. I thought just drawing the teeth by itself would be good enough, but it's not. Same thing with the mandible. I thought that would be good enough practice, but it's not because, again, knowing the shape of the bone is important. I mean, it wasn't good enough what we did before. We need to do more. And you can even see over here as well. It's showing you the angles. It's obviously for different kinds of people. I'm more angled than curved. I don't know, I'm kind of in the middle. But here, it's like drawing the side of the face and drawing the chin, the shadow underneath the chin, is very, 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 very important. Because if you can get those shadows in without worrying about it, then you can worry about the more complicated things like the mustache and the nose on top. Like, you're not going to draw a good beard if you can't draw a good chin. So that's what we're learning. Same thing with the eyes. Like, you can't draw good eyes if you can't draw a good... Unhooking my phone because it's stuck to a wire. We needed to focus more on, this says here, frontal bone, forehead, frontal bone, superior temporal line, which is this. So drawing this superior temporal line, we skipped it, and that's why in my drawing, this is me, my critique. That's where I always struggle here. And what the book is telling me, basically, I need to do is to actually draw in the superior temporal line, which is this right here, next to the zygomatic arch. So we did do the zygomatic arch, but we didn't practice anything around it. We just moved on to what we thought was next, which was the mandible. But I'm using red in my drawing. Use the textbook. Oh man, we are over an hour. But this is kind of important. It's not like it's a blizzard out. What am I gonna do? So on the side, it's like this. I'm doing it backwards, so I'm kind of, I'm doing my best, everybody. Boop boo doo 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 doo. I'm literally drawing this backwards, but the right brain is like really good at drawing stuff backwards, so. And then there's the same thing over here. That's this one over here. So I've got the zygomatic arch, which is connected to the temporal line, which goes a little bit over here, and then it goes that way. So according to this, everything here should be shaded in. Everything in here should be shaded in because that's the bone. So the bone should be the highlight popping out part. So I'm putting it in red because that's where the shading should be next time. I didn't, like, here the zygomatic arch is red. Here I drew red in the negative space around the zygomatic arch. So I can clearly see just from the shape of this skull that, like, this is round, because that's round. So this is round, and then that's round too, but it's round like this. So just from this exercise alone, would have very much helped the anatomy of my drawing. My head's kind of tilted, so I think I drew it in a little bit wrong, but I think you guys are starting to understand how important it is to know that the glabella, which is the wedge-like shape, like a keystone of an arch, the better you are at drawing the glabella, because if I can draw on the glabella here, I wish I had more colors to use, but this is the glabella, and the glabella, which is here, I would know that that is the socket, the eye socket, because it's right connected to the glabella. So I was trying to draw on the eye sockets, but I skipped everything around it. So I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So how am I going to be able to draw the muscles on top of the bone if I haven't even gotten a firm grasp on the bones yet? So I guess we got to back up, as Terence McKenna says, revival of the archaic. So you move forwards until you encounter something that doesn't work as well, and then you got to back it on up to what worked well before. But for me, it's like backing up my knowledge in the book. So in the future, I would like to have a pen that is like a whiteout pen so I can just dab in a couple highlights. Um, I could probably do that with this white eyeliner, but it would just rub off really fast. So yeah, critique, critique, critique. Oh, and we got to write in, okay, class, what do you do when you finish a drawing? You got to date it. So today's February 1, 2021. JSJ with a smiley face and put in a kind of background. I'm skipping. Oh, I put in a little bit of the background. Some chairs and stuff. Oh, I did put in a little bit of the it's hard to see, but I did do not I did eyelashes, but I'm trying to say eyelids. The nose is kind of getting more definition. I'm starting to get the hang of the placement of the hair. And I definitely think if I go back and draw the actual, this is the superciliary arch. It's the whole thing. That's the glabella. But the superciliary arch is the whole thing across your forehead. The four is glabella, so that's the glabella, and then 5 is nason, the root of the nose. So if I were to be drawing these things in, if I draw on the root of the nose, boop 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 boo, I just drew it in there. If I were to draw it in first and then put the nose on top of the root of the nose, then it would be easier than having a nose and drawing the root of the nose and being like, oh well, does that match? No, because you did it backwards. So, do 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 do. Also gonna date this 2/1/2021. I'm happy with this drawing, although I did draw it in here, all of the bones I just mentioned, but you don't know it deeply enough to really know it. I don't know how to describe it. I'll be able to show you after I draw it. We did our little exercise to see if we flipped over. I did it better last time, but I kind of cheated last time. Just going back, you can see that a lot of these drawings, it's like I look like a chimpanzee with like a long hair. Ooh, I like that one. I don't like that one. Some of them are just like you get lucky. I don't really know how else to put it. Some of them just look good. So using red is easy for really identifying parts that I need to work on. Yeah, the zygomatic arch in the bone, like I did put it in, but it's very like undefined. It's just scritchy scratchy. I didn't draw a root of the nose here at all, so maybe that's why I can't do it in my actual portraits yet. There's no glabella. I didn't do that yet, so maybe that's why I'm having trouble placing the ice. So yeah, we don't need this to last forever. I'm just gonna skip through because it's always fun. You know, some of them are good, some of them aren't. I'm skipping all around. Um, that's how I always finish class. Yeah, I did that one last time pretty well. Do. That's a bad drawing. Ugh, look at that. There's no arch in here, and there's no temporal line. So it's just like really wrong. With these drawings, I like skipped ahead. So you get a drawing, but is it worth it? Because, and of course it's always worth it. You should always be drawing. Um, I worked really hard on these last time, but they're still like honestly not even that good in my opinion. I didn't even learn that much. It's like you want to go fast and skip through stuff and get through it as fast as you can. But you learn better if you go slower. I focused on all of that stuff here, but I was like overwhelmed. I was just writing it and copying it out of the book. Like this is all the stuff I exactly talked about, and I already did it. But I was just copying out of the book. I didn't really learn it. Um, and I think you can show that you really learn it when you can do it like from real life with a real person. These are just copying pictures out of a book, but it's not really drawing an eye. That's where I did anatomy, and then you can see even before this, I started doing anatomy because I was drawing figure drawing from people on internet, and I was like, these are all. I can't really go beyond gesture drawing because I don't know the anatomy yet. Um, so I guess that's it for class, everybody. Draw every day. Draw every day, draw every day, draw every day, draw every day. It's very important that you draw every day, everybody. It's just fun and it's good for your mental health. You want to say goodbye to, where is it? I've got caterpillars and I've got chrysalises. That caterpillar is eating, but by the end of the day, he'll be um, on top of the cup, and then he'll do a J hook like that guy. And then after that, they shed their skin and they become pupas or chrysalises. And then in about a week, I'm sure, uh, it'll open up, and I'll have to be ready with um, some butterfly nectar, which I use Gatorade. But yeah, so we had a lot of fun today um, drawing our things. And do you want to say goodbye, Jason? I always let you say goodbye at the end of class. It's literally like the last page in my book. I have one more page in my book after this, guys, and then I filled up a whole sketchbook. So, goodbye, everybody. Thanks for, making me exist, and I hope that you guys have some drawings that you can show me, because this is a community and we are growing together. It's important and it's fun. Soon we can just draw each other together. Like, you know how um, cartoon people can be friends in the cartoon world? Like Finn and Jake. Like, we can draw ourselves being friends with them. And it's real. Like, if you want to be on the 100 Acre Wood with Winnie the Pooh, you can literally draw yourself doing that and it makes it real. So that's just like a fun little thing to talk about, or like even real people. Like if there's anyone that you know in your life, drawing them is like instantly the coolest thing that you could do. Uh, if you work in a restaurant or anything, it's just like the best thing. So, sorry, I'm distracted with my. I like to just pick them up and roll them and look at them because they're all glittery. So, I hope the snow goes away. Bye bye, snow. Go away, snow. Today's video is a little early because my dog woke me up. She threw up this morning at 5 o'clock, and then I had to go to the bathroom, and then that's it. Like I go, she goes, we're all going. So I don't know. I love butterflies, and I love drawing, and I love you guys. So don't forget to like and subscribe because if you grow, I will basically follow anyone who subscribes to me or, that whole thing. Let's do it together. I think I had a dream that, like, I keep having dreams that I wake up and it's like blew up, but that's not real. Anyways, continuing to grow my thistle in the corner. That's right by the window. You can see all the green. That's where the butterflies will lay their eggs in about 2 weeks, I'm saying, because they gotta come out of the butterfly cocoon. They gotta come out of their emerge from the chrysalis, which is like shedding their skin again. And by that time, they're butterflies. And then they look for their host plant, which is thistle. And they'll lay their eggs after they mate. So it takes like 4 or 5 days to become sexually mature. And I just gotta keep them alive till then. And they lay their eggs. Yep. This is beyond drawing. So back to drawing, everybody. Maybe I'll do another video later where I'm doing makeup or something. But yep. This was fun. I'll see you guys later. And I don't know. I'm getting better at making the videos just like I'm getting better at drawing. So let's do it together. I don't know. I love you. Bye. Jason says bye. 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 See you tomorrow. Draw every day. Draw every day. It doesn't matter what you draw. I'm going to say it until you guys respond with something. I want to see your work. So, fun. Bye. Bye. See you tomorrow. Draw every day. Draw every day.